So, welcome, Diego. Thanks so much for being with us today to talk about your membership of the Digital Pound Foundation and about central bank digital currencies more broadly. To kick off, I'd just love it if you could tell us a bit more about your role at Clifford Chance and also a bit about how that relates to central bank digital currencies generally and your interest in the digital pound more broadly.
Thanks, Helen. Yes, sure. Um, Maybe it's best to start with what Clifford Chance is. Clifford Chance is a global law firm. We are involved in all sorts of financing transactions, banking transactions. We service financial services entities, and really the widest range of customers. And we provide full service legal advice across the globe. And it is in that context that we think institutions like the Digital Pound Foundation are so important because we think that central bank digital currencies are a new trend and they're up and coming, but they're definitely being adopted and they're going to be here to stay and they're going to shape the finance of tomorrow. And so when you ask me about my role is I'm a financial services regulatory lawyer by trade. I've been at a regulator before, and I am leading one of the lawyers that's leading the charge around digital assets, DLT, and adoption of legal technologies in the financial services space. And with that sort of regulatory hat, I have been considering and thinking about the implications of central bank digital currencies generally. And that meant that I sort of started looking at who is setting the standard and, what's going on out there. And I know that the Digital Pound Foundation is driving some of the thought leadership. And so my role is to act as an advisor to our clients, but also trying to position myself and the firm as the thought leader that it is.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I know obviously there are, I think, probably nearly 100 nation states and jurisdictions around the world that are looking into implementing a central bank digital currency in some shape or form. So, what do you see as the prospects for implementation globally?
I mean, I think what is very interesting is that the idea of digital money is actually not that new. It's been around for more than 20 years. I think with the combination of the DLT and blockchain technology, I think is where we really are seeing a breakthrough, and we're seeing this renewed interest in digital money, and in particular this idea of central bank digital currencies, which to me seem to be a little bit like a proposal to compete with the stable coins and the crypto assets of this world that have taken the world by storm and have had a few very, very good years and have been in the spotlight in the market. And so I think central banks have been pushed in a sense to develop central bank digital currencies. But now that they are here and that they're thinking about it, and you're absolutely right, there are more than 100 projects out there considering them, I think that the possibilities that the technology gives are such that central bank digital currencies are here to stay. We've seen various jurisdictions thinking about adopting them. Initially, some of the projects are less ambitious than others, but there's clearly a trend in developed and developing jurisdictions for the adoption of these things. And I think the fact that you can program payments, that you can make it easy to hold, that you can reduce risks, that you can make payments more efficient, is what is going to drive the adoption is what's going to make this a technology that we'll all be familiar with tomorrow. I think the questions that we're sort of trying to face at the moment is who's going to be delivering that for us, and how is it going to work, and what will be the rules of the game. But it's definitely staying, definitely here to be adopted.
So interesting. And I was just reading this morning about people queuing up at the Bank of England to exchange the paper notes that are going out of circulation because we're bringing in plastic notes, or we already have brought in plastic notes, and obviously also with the sad death of the Queen, we've got, to reprint our coins and notes in the UK. So kind of interesting implications about, what the benefits are of digital pound beyond, simply some of the innovative things, but also some of the day-to-day practicalities, I guess. And I know, I mean, there are countries around the world who are already implementing this, China for one. How do you think this is already sort of changing the way we transact, and what are the wider implications for, I guess, the day-to-day man or woman on the street?
I mean, I think that's a really interesting question because it really depends on in what jurisdiction and in what context we're asking. I think if for a regular person, like if I go to do my shopping at one of the supermarkets, and I pay with my app, and nowadays everybody can pay with their phone or with their watch or whatever. The practical difference between using the traditional existing system and CBDCs is probably not that relevant, or you don't immediately see the benefits. Um, I think, however, that with the ability of programming payments at a more macro level, the efficiencies that can be achieved in a jurisdiction like the UK are really, really interesting. And so I think the real game changer is, yes, it's gonna change the way people pay, but it's more going to be a game changer for wholesale markets. Whereas if you contrast this with a jurisdiction where you have less developed payment systems, where it is currently not possible to pay with an app, and you enable this technology, and you have the security of a central bank standing behind the balances in people's accounts, that's a game changer, and that's a possibility to get people that are currently unbanked into the banking system, provided that the relevant safeguards are there. Privacy has been one of the issues that has been discussed, that's been banded around, and obviously, there are risks around all of this, but we're moving towards a society where everything is digital and everything is going to be an interaction with the digital space, and so I think this is necessary.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I guess, from your point of view, being part of an organization like the Digital Pound Foundation as an independent body that's working on this, what are the benefits from your point of view?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, we were really, really excited about joining the Digital Pound Foundation for two reasons. The first one is the Digital Pound Foundation has its own voice. It's a fantastic organization that is very dynamic. It's still small in membership, but big enough to punch above its weight. So I think that's fantastic. It has a really good market profile, and it enables participants to put out ideas out there that have been thought about and vetted and considered, but by all the expert members that are part of it. So one of the key features of the Digital Pound Foundation, I think, is its membership and the quality of the people that it has brought together. That's on the one thing, on the one side. On the second side, I think for Clifford Chance, it's our way or avenue to bring out some of our own ideas and getting them tested with the wider market without necessarily having a client relationship in there. So it's our own thought leadership that we can present and we can sound out with market experts, and put out our knowledge and our contribution to the wider debate around digital assets and adoption of central bank digital currencies. That's the beauty for us. We are able to do that at a very technical and sophisticated level, and having the depth of bench that the DPF offers, I think is fantastic.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Diego. That was brilliant talking to you today. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for interviewing me.